This is CNN News. Hi, I'm Eric Plant.
And I'm Vinesh Arun. Eric, why don't you start us off today?
Thanks, Vinesh. Today our topic is about the United Farm Workers. Cesar Chavez is a strong activist who struggled to unite Latinos and Anglos, created the United Farm Workers. Dolores Huerta, fellow activist, who also became very involved in this powerful organization. Migrant farm workers were farmers who constantly traveled to plant, cultivate, and harvest crops because they needed the work in order to provide for their family. Chavez acknowledged the farmers' long hours of exhausting work and very low pay. So Chavez, along with Huerta, wanted to create a union that would help them gain bargaining power, higher wages, better working conditions, and resist the superiority of their employers. These two members made this movement possible and restore hope, happiness, and opportunities with the Latino and Anglo farmers and their children. Now I'm going to turn back to Vinesh with the who, what, when, where, and why.
Thanks, Eric. So the who. As stated before, Cesar Chavez was a hero of this national inspirational movement. Dolores Huerta organized field hands, and together, these two members made this movement possible and restored hope, happiness, and opportunities to Latino and Anglo farmers and their children. The UFW wanted to improve Latino and Anglo farmers' lives because they didn't receive the working necessities that they needed. They went farm to farm, gathering thousands of members and allowing those farmers to escape the hardships they were experiencing. Where? The UFW was a nationwide organization, but in terms of other states outside of California, it wasn't extremely strong. Most of its power and influence was centralized in California. When? The organization was founded in 1962. And how? They acted with only non-violent tactics. The UFW had protests, some fasted, went on long marches, held nationwide boycotts, pickets, strikes, and other inspirational acts. People took action because farmers became determined to help each other out and collectively bargain in order to get better working conditions and overall better lives. People also became motivated because of the rapid growth of the UFW, its recognition that it got nationwide, and how it was an enormous success. It was significant because it gave equality, the rights, and the opportunities that Latinos and Anglo farmers deserved.
Impact on society. What the United Farm Workers did was they organized boycotts and protests. They were successful because farmers thought if they stopped growing crops and other things, then the markets and stores would go bankrupt, so the government would be able to negotiate more quickly and effectively.
In its first 10 years, the UFW has won over 200 contracts. These contracts provide for wage scales, medical insurances, holidays, vacations, a hiring hall, health and safety precautions ranging from toilet facilities and drinking water to the regulation of the use of dangerous pesticides. The union has a medical insurance plan which has paid out over $60,000 in benefits to workers, a clinic staffed by nurses and doctors, a life insurance program, a credit union which will lend any member up to $300 at 1% interest, and a service center. The UFW got grape growers to accept union contracts and had effectively organized most of that industry, at one point in time claiming $50,000 dues paying members. The reason was Cesar Chavez's tireless leadership and nonviolent tactics that included the Delano grape strike, his fast that focused national attention on farm workers' problems, and the 340-mile march from Delano to Sacramento in 1966. The farm workers and supporters carried banners with the Black Eagle. The marchers wanted the state government to pass laws which would permit farm workers to organize into a union and allow collective bargaining agreements.
Now that's all we have left on CNN News. I'm Eric Plant.
And I'm Vinesh Arun, and we'll see you next time.
Shot to the heart, and you're too late, darling, you give love.
What's up, guys?
This is the 40th anniversary of a very special newscast about the United Farm Workers.
I'm Eric Plant III.
And I'm Vinesh Arun III, and Eric's just going to tell us how the UFW impacted us today, 40 years later.
So the lingering effects are, of course, the rights, opportunities, and improved conditions for the Latino Anglo farmers. So the lingering effects are really important because otherwise the Latino farmers would have not had all the necessities that they need to become successful.
Today, although many people are unaware, the UFW is regarded as a successful program that improved the lives of many, led by an altruistic man, Cesar Chavez. People still care because it was an important movement in a time of crisis throughout America when protests erupted due to a paucity of equality and not following the rights that the Constitution gives American citizens.
Kids are still studying this now because the UFW had a major role on civil rights movement back then. So this concludes our CNN newscast,
and we'll see you next time.